two-part songs are fun. I've been having a lot of fun recently singing Hole in the Bucket, just getting all the men to sing the men's part with me, and then I stay silent and let the women sing the women's verse. It's fun, the bouncing back and forth. But getting away from the subject, because I really wanted to stick with pitch. Here's where singing harmony is a big help. If the song's too high, you sing a low harmony. If the song's too low, sing a high harmony. And when you get a really good gang, it's inspiring to see the range of harmony you can get. Some really high voices and some really low voices, and it's a thrilling thing. At the same time, my gosh, there's times you don't want any harmony. Here's a song I don't know if you ever heard. Matt McGinn wrote the words, and I just fitted it to an old tune. Here's a song for one and all, down, a down, and down, a down. Here's a song for one and all, with a down. Here's a song for one and all, about a man just 2 foot tall. With a down, derry, 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 down, down. Now don't get any harmony, stay right on the melody. He met a dame on Blytheswood Square, down, down, and down, down. He met a dame on Blytheswood Square, with a down. He met a dame on Blytheswood Square, and she was 40, fat and fair. With a down, derry, 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 down, down. She said to him with tender smile, down, down, and down. She said to him with a tender smile, with a down. She said to him with tender smile, would you be free for a wee short while? With a down, derry, 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 down, down. His evil mind began to roam, down, down, down. His evil mind began to roam, with a down. His evil mind began to roam, when she said, dearie, come on home. With a down, derry, 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 down, down. She showed him to her room and said, down, 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 down. She showed him to her room and said, with a down. She showed him to her room and said, lay all your things upon that bed. With a down, derry, 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 down, down. She said, I'll be right back in a tick. Down, 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 down. She said, I'll be right back in a tick. Derry down. She said, I'll be right back in a tick. The wee man threw his clothes off quick. With a down, derry, 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 down, down. She brought her 7 children in. Down, down, down. She brought her 7 children in. With a down. She brought her 7 children in. Said, see that ruckle of bone and skin. With a down, derry, 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 down, down. Says she, destroying all his courage. Down, down, and down, and down. Says she, destroying all his courage. With a down. Says she, destroying all his courage. That's what you get when you don't eat porridge. With a down, derry, 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 down, down. I learned that about a year or two ago, traveling up to met Matt McGinn's widow. Said she'd found some poems and verses among his papers that had never been published, and had I ever seen it? No, never seen it. Well, Matt McGinn lives as we sing his songs. I brought that up because harmony is wonderful. I love harmony, but some of the greatest singing is done with no harmony. American Indians don't use a lot of harmony. Don't use any, I don't think. And some of those Irish, Scottish type songs, you spoil them when you get harmony. Get Lou Killen to sing it for you. It's a long, humorous story about a bunch of soldiers that get drunk and they finally find a place to get lodgings for the night. And one of them sneezes and he wakes 500,000 fleas. And they're all singing. And you spoil it if you got harmony. There's some songs too you spoil if you get more than 2 parts. Again, listen to some of the songs of the Piatnitsky chorus. 2 women's voices, and you don't want 3 parts. You don't want 3 or 4 parts, just those 2 parts. They're so nice and stand out so clear. We were singing a little while ago the Mexican, no, it's a Cuban song actually. Even if you don't know the words, you can la-la your way through. Cuando se quiere te veras, como te quiero yo a ti. Es imposible, mi cielo, tan separados viven. Cuando se quiere como te quiero yo a ti. Es imposible, mi cielo, tan separados viven, tan separados viven. And of course, you know, the harmony part is just 3 notes below the melody. Cuando se quiere de verdad, cuando te quiero. Somebody sing the melody. Es imposible, mi cielo, tan separados viven. Cuando se quiere. Como te quiero a ti. Es imposible, mi cielo, tan separados vivir, tan separados vivir. You gotta switch and go above the melody for the last line. But some traditions are full of these 2-part songs, Mediterranean traditions especially, which are, of course, throughout Latin America. And I think it's worth respecting these traditions, not messing them up trying to put harmony to the songs that weren't originally intended to have harmony, not trying to put 4-part harmony to something that's intended to have 2-part harmony. On the other hand, you can be disrespectful sometimes and make a breakthrough. Lots of great musicians have. But is there anything else I haven't said about pitch? I think it's worthwhile, if you get a crowd that likes to sing, to stretch their range a little bit, sing some songs real high. The song I've Got Sixpence, which soldiers used to sing, is one of these songs. You know, I've got sixpence.
Jolly, jolly sixpence. I've got sixpence to last me all my life. Tuppence to spend and tuppence to lend and tuppence to send home to my wife. Poor wife, no cares have I to breed me, no pretty little girls to deceive me. Happy as a wife, believe me, as we go rolling, rolling home,
Rolling home,
rolling home,
rolling home,
rolling home,
by the
light of the silvery moon. Happy is the day when the army gets us paid, as we go rolling, rolling home.
Oh my gosh, haven't sung that so much in 40 years, but that high note, happy is the day. It's worthwhile reaching for a high note occasionally. It's what tenors love to do. And so sometimes when I sing that song, the Homestead Strike song, I may sing it tonight over at Berkeley. It's already high in pitch. And then you say, are there any tenors around? Oh, they have a fine time reaching for the high notes. And they're proud they sing notes nobody else can sing. What else about pitch, though? Because it helps be on pitch. And when you're nervous, when you're straining, you can get out of pitch. You're not listening to myself. And I might say also, one of the first signs of senility is you start getting out of pitch too. I can no longer tune a banjo or guitar if it's noisy around me. I just can't hear it. And I now get the guitar well tuned off stage and bring it on, because I don't like to take too long to tune it. I can tune a banjo fairly quickly still, but I no longer do. On the other hand, my mother, age 89, could still hear good pitch. She said, "You're sharp." She was a violin teacher. All her life she told people when they're off pitch, and she was telling me I was off pitch till the day she was dying. Anything else we haven't taken about pitch?
Well, what about some of us that are young? I mean, on stage I'm trying to figure out a harmony, remember one, and I hit the wrong note. Is there any tips to help you not do that? I mean,
well, there's nothing wrong with a wrong note. Really, sometimes it might surprise you by being a right note. Think of all the jazz musicians who just are having a fine time. They're hitting wrong notes all over the place. People think they're right. Think of all the cooks who sprinkled too much of something in the soup and it turned out great. No, if you hit a wrong note, you just laugh about it and go on. Admittedly, it's a big help to have confidence. And I was helped all my life in that I had a low threshold of nervousness. I can get nervous talking to one person, but I don't get nervous talking to large groups of people. And I'd sung all my life with friends, and so it wasn't anything particular to walk out on the stage. And I guess there's no substitute for doing it a lot. You know, if you're nervous about something, try it. Do it again. Do it again until you get over your nervousness. Any other recommendations for getting over nervousness? Because
know it real well.
Yeah, I know. As the song says, I know my song well before I start singing.
The other thing, it seems to me, about nervousness too, is I get more nervous when I feel as though I have to carry the whole show. And when you start talking about involving other people in it, to me it's a real, just to trust the fact that they're going to give back a whole lot. And that's the biggest help to me in performing or in getting to sing along or anything.
Yeah. Of course, about singing on pitch, which I'll end off this little section, it does help sometimes to have a monitor, speaker. I don't like them because I can't hear the audience so well, and I want to be able to tell how well they're singing. But if I want to hear myself know that I'm singing on pitch, one of these little monitor speakers. This is why Paul Robeson used to sing with his hand like this, and Ewan McCall does also. Carries the voice right up the palm, right into your ear, and you can stay on pitch much better if you do that.
If he sings a cappella, which we just heard him, and that's why he does that, I was curious.
That's right. And when you're singing a long ballad, your voice is your only instrument. And he wants to know exactly what his voice is doing, and he can hear it better when he does this. He doesn't cover up his ear. The sound is going from his lips to the palm and then up his fingers to his ear.
I had a question about pitch.
Yeah.
Every now and then I have the experience with an audience that I can't get one of the parts on the right pitch. Are there any specific techniques to actually helping people get to where you want them to
Well,
get?
here's when an instrument could help. You can sing one pitch and the instrument take the other. That helps a little bit. And sometimes you can bob around with your own voice, but it may end up by confusing people.
Yeah,
Sometimes you sing first the high part, and then you sing the low part. People don't know who to...
You lose somebody, and I was wondering if there's a way to...
No, I don't know exactly what to do. Here's where, of course, people like to divide up the audience. You all sing the low part, you all sing the high part. This can get kind of mechanical sometimes. And I've given it up in recent years unless I have to do it. Because if you get too teachy about things, sometimes you can destroy the flow of the evening. You're so busy teaching. And yet occasionally it's worthwhile trying to teach some things. Do we have time on the tape to teach another song to you all here? I learned last fall, I went to sing out, said, do you know any Nicaraguan songs? And Sarah Plant, the new editor of Sing Out, the new music editors, with a big smile, said, just so happens this issue we've got a fine Nicaraguan song. And it is a beauty. Cristo ya nació en Palacaguina, el Chepejabón, y una María que ella pancha muy humildemente. La ropa rosa, la mujer ociosa del terrateniente. And I usually get a laugh when I say, you know, I'm going to teach that all to you. But it is not as hard because I forgot words. I even wrote on a piece of plywood about 10 feet high. Cristo ya nació en Palacaguina del Chepejabón y una María ella pancha muy humildemente. La goza la mujer ociosa del terrateniente. If anybody doesn't know Spanish, you know you don't pronounce the H and you roll the R's and the J is an H. La ropa que goza la mujer ociosa del terrateniente. Try a little faster. They actually sing it very fast in Nicaragua. Cristo nació en Palacaguina del Chepejabón y una María ella pancha muy humildemente. La mujer ociosa del terrateniente. I won't get it right away, but I'll tell you what the words mean. Christ is already born in Palacaguina of Joe Pavone, Nicaraguan Maria. She's the one that goes so humbly to iron clothes for the lazy wife of the landlord. And then the verses. En el terra Juana, Juana dentro de la Segovia, seguir resplanda la soramia, como una aurora de medianoche. Los mares a la se prendieron, los libraplatas se estremecieron, y llovió los por Moyagalpa, por Telpeneque y por Chichigalpa. Cristo ya nació en Palacaguina del Chepejabón, y una María ella pancha muy humildemente. La ropa ociosa del terrateniente. In the hills of the Iguana Mountains there was a strange splendor like a midnight dawn. It lit up the corn plants. Bolts of lightning shivered a shower of light over Moyagalpa, Telpaneca, Chichigalpa. Christ is already born here in Palacagüina. The second verse says, the Indians gathered round. Indians is the word for the poor people, the farmers, to watch this. And Joaquin brought bread and cheese from Nagarote. There was no gold, no incense, but there was sweets from Del Riomo and little fried donuts from Guadalupe. Cristo ya nació en Palacagüina, el Chile Babón, y una María de la Mancha, muy humildemente, la ropa rigosa, la mujer graciosa del terrateniente. Now what we need is the harmony, because there they're singing Cristo ya nació en Palacagüina, del Chepe Pavón, y una María de la Mancha, muy humildemente, la ropa rigosa, la mujer graciosa del terrateniente. Let's sing two parts. Who's going to sing high part with me? Anybody? Somebody sing the melody. Melody, Cristo ya nació. High part, Cristo ya nació. 1, 2. Cristo ya nació. En Palacagüina, del Chepe Pavón, y una María de la Mancha, muy humildemente, la ropa rigosa, la mujer graciosa del terrateniente. The song was written by Carlos Mejia Godoy, a wonderful young composer who was exiled by Somoza. And this was one of the reasons when he said, what's wrong with this song? Well, those of you who know Spanish, lo sé un poco de jornalero, se me catea todito el día, lo tiene con reumatismo, el tejido de la carpintería. María sueña que el hijo, igual que él trata de ser carpintero, pero el simpatío piensa, mañana quiero ser guerrillero. Cristo ya nació en Palacagüina, del Chepe Pavón, y una María de la Mancha, muy humildemente, la ropa rigosa, la mujer graciosa del terrateniente. Joseph is a poor carpenter, sick from the dust in the carpentry shop. Maria, she's dreaming that her boy is going to be a carpenter like his daddy. But the kid is thinking, tomorrow I want to be a gorilla fighter. Cristo ya nació en Palacagüina, del Chepe Pavón, y una María de la Mancha, muy humildemente, la ropa rigosa, la mujer graciosa del terrateniente. Like a lot of Latin American songs, it's full of what musicians call a hemiola, that is 2 beats against 3, all in one. So the foot is going to beat 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, but the guitar is going 1. Cristo ya nació en Palacagüina, del Chepe Pavón, y una María de la Mancha, muy humildemente, la ropa rigosa, la mujer graciosa del terrateniente. Cristo ya nació en Palacagüina, del Chepe Pavón, y una María de la Mancha, muy humildemente, la ropa rigosa, la mujer graciosa del terrateniente. You did very well. So So that could take a long time, maybe 10 minutes or more to teach to a crowd, but it's worth it, maybe once in the evening to take the time for it. And you get a lot of satisfaction. You know, I sang in Spanish. Now, we take another 5-minute break?
Yes, it did.